Okay, Stefon Diggs needs to be paid yesterday. Yo ho ho, Da Mafia. Welcome to yet another edition of the Da Mafia Report. And unfortunately, you are in store for a very anxiety-ridden episode today because while at first, when I started hearing the rumors that Stefon Diggs was super upset with Brandon Beane's comment last week about it seems like the lack of urgency to even come to the table for an extension on behalf of the man because, in quote, we've got Stefon for 2 years, so we know that. At the right time, we'll work with his reps and see if there's something to be done that works for him. He's a winner. He's all in on winning, and sure, everybody wants to be paid, but he wants to be on a winning team. I think he's been the best version of himself, so I don't see that being an issue. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's very easy, especially from a fan base, to say, oh yeah, dude, most definitely, sure, Tyreek Hill is now the highest paid receiver in the entire league. Davante Adams just ended up getting a complete massive contract, but Diggs should be happy enough with $14.7 million. I mean, he plays for the Buffalo Bills, best fan base in all of sports, a tremendous culture. Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly like you being at your current job, right? And then two of your friends who work for different companies end up getting double your salary overnight, right? So then when you approach your boss or you're waiting for something along those lines to transpire or emerge, your boss looks you in the eye and he says, hey, and so I know you're making $70,000 and I know the industry standard now is about $150,000, but just look at our culture. Look at our culture, baby. You should be happy to be here because we're all winners here. You know what I would say? I would say go fuck yourself. I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to go see what other opportunities there are. Now, don't get me wrong. When we ended up getting Diggs onto our team just a couple of years ago, he signed a pretty crazy contract, right? Overall, $75 million. Man's bringing home about $14.7 million per year. And if it wasn't for the Tyreek Hill and if it wasn't for the Davante Adams thing, I wouldn't even see this being an issue. But now it is, because the market for top receivers has essentially just completely doubled. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you, hey, listen, I think that Stefon Diggs is going to request a trade. I don't necessarily think that is going to happen, even though his little brother Stefon Diggs, throughout the past couple of days, has been trying to troll Twitter and recruit his brother to go play for the Cowboys. Not sure why he would want to do that. It's something that I really think that Brandon Beane shouldn't just be brushing along or moving along for the most part. Stefon Diggs is, in my opinion, 60 to 70% of our offense for the past 2 years. He really has been. The first year, obviously, just being the true number one. He was completely burning everybody. And then last year, still obviously being the true number one, but he served as almost a decoy, right? Really being able to not only help Josh Allen take another step, which was completely out of all of our imaginations, but also allowing other receivers, such as Gabriel Davis, and then also Isaiah McKenzie, to have fantastic years as well, because he was on that field. Diggs legitimately ended up putting over 1,000 yards the first 2 seasons that he spent with Buffalo. And yeah, most definitely, he is one of the best, if not the best receivers in the entire league. So when comments like that from Brandon Beane say, oh yeah, dude, we still got him for 2 years, he should be lucky and to be a part of this winning organization. Without Stefon Diggs, ladies and gentlemen, I still see us being a great team. Don't get me wrong. I think Josh Allen has been able to go on ahead and make that additional step where he can really make anything work at this point, but not when our Super Bowl window is this damn tight, right? In my opinion, what I think needs to happen is Brandon Beane needs to either within the next couple of days or at the very least by August, give this man what he absolutely deserves. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Dan, I mean, we only have about $2 million worth of cap space. Look at our most recent free agency. Where were we before we ended up making all of those absolutely insane moves? I'm pretty sure at one point we were in the negatives. We went up to $7 million, and then somehow we ended up going on ahead and just making these massive, massive contract deals. I'm thinking that this needs to be top priority for Buffalo right now. I definitely understand that we need to save some kind of money, especially since the draft is coming along, but whether or not that Bean needs to backload this contract, we absolutely need to make Stefon Diggs happy. I'm not going to sit here and say that those tweets that he ended up putting out were something to cause concern. I mean, we all know how Stefon Diggs likes to tweet. For all we know, that could have just been based off of a random occurrence, a random exchange that he had with somebody completely unrelated with football. But the way that the market has completely shifted, a contract extension is almost imperative. Backload it, transition as many this year's salaries into signing bonuses, and make that man happy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Buffalo Bills, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but our Super Bowl window is closing. It really is. I think that this is the year. We need to win it, or next year it's going to be very difficult. A lot of people are always talking about, oh man, let's just wait until next year. You know, like there's going to be that new TV contract. At this time, where we have the potential of having one of, if not the best rosters in Buffalo Bills history at our fingertips, we need to make sure that not only do we have those pieces in place, but everybody is happy. Everybody is buying in to said culture. Because with all of these acquisitions, our defensive line has absolutely gotten amazing. Our offense still looks incredible. And the only thing I want is for our star receiver, okay, arguably the best in the entire league, to be happy and paid the money that he deserves. Now, Dom Mafia, do me a favor, leave a comment. What do you think the urgency is here? Are you really buying into his tweets? Do you think there's bad blood, or do you also think that Brandon Beane is sort of throwing out, I would say, for example, just some smoke and mirrors, and for all we know, he already has something on paper. He's talked to Stefon, and they're completely fine at this end of the day. Really want to hear your thoughts on that. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. And before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.